This video is the first in a series on how to navigate this space-time reality by understanding how it actually works, dissolving the misconceptions that limit our experience of it, and learning how to enter states of consciousness where life can begin to be experienced from the perspective of the higher self. You learn how to experience the extraordinary duality of perceiving your life simultaneously from two perspectives. From the higher self that created the blueprint of the life you're experiencing here within third-dimensional space and time, and from the perspective of the physical mind that explores and lives out that blueprint. But humanity is now entering frequency bands where something even more profound is becoming possible. We are beginning to access levels of consciousness where we can not only perceive the blueprint of this life that we created before incarnation, but begin understanding how to alter that blueprint, that template of your reality itself, and consciously choose entirely different themes of experience. First, we're going to begin with a fundamental misunderstanding that exists about manifestation, about how the law of attraction actually works. Because the common understanding is backwards. Here is a very important key. Every person who enters this physical reality embodies a template, a theme of exploration they chose to experience during this lifetime. This is their key frequency. This unique vibrational signature, representative of both you and the themes you chose to explore, is the energetic identity of who you are while you're here in this physical life. You don't actually need to ask the universe for what you want. You don't even need to obsessively focus on goals in order to receive what is aligned for you. There's never a need to forcefully attract anything to yourself because you already emanate a signature vibration that is naturally and automatically drawing to you everything that resonates with your key frequency, like an extraordinarily powerful magnet. And if something isn't reaching you, it's not because you're failing to attract it. It's because your beliefs, your perceptions, your fears, your definitions, and your actions are not in alignment with the higher self that created the key frequency to begin with. And when you are out of alignment with your own frequency, the experiences that would naturally otherwise flow to you can't reach you. What is not in your best interest is always being naturally repelled from you. And you can feel this repelling energy through experiencing resistance in your life. Fear-based emotional states such as doubt, anxiety, frustration, pain, or other negative emotional states cause contraction, revealing this resistance. So manifestation is not about learning how to attract what you need in order to feel fulfilled, abundant, connected, joyful, or whole. It's about letting go of the states that actively prevent those things from reaching you. You are already a natural attractor. It's the built-in mechanism of your consciousness, your blueprint. You are always attracting exactly what is aligned with your state of being. Now, you never create something that doesn't already exist, nor are you bringing something to yourself from somewhere else. Everything that could possibly exist already exists. Every possible variation of every possible experience already exists as a possibility within your own consciousness, a probability. Otherwise, you would not even be capable of experiencing the blueprint you created, the themes of exploration for your life before entering physical reality. You never truly create anything. What you do is tune yourself to a potential that already exists and then create your own unique experience of it. Everything already exists within the infinite nature of existence. The Akashic records are not really records at all. They are simply your consciousness tapping into that infinite field of possibilities and extracting what is relevant for you in your life in any given moment. You are simply making visible what already exists but was previously invisible to you because you were not the frequency of it. Once you match the frequency of any possibility, it becomes visible to you, experienceable by you. But it was always there. It's just that you cannot experience anything you aren't the frequency of. And if something is not showing up in your life, there are 4 main reasons why. Either you have a limiting belief preventing it from entering your experience. The timing may not be appropriate. You're not taking action in the direction of that reality, or it may not actually be relevant to the theme you chose to explore in this lifetime. Let's explore this in more detail. Number 1, if there is something you desire and you're not experiencing it, you may be holding beliefs that contradict your ability to have it. A very common example is money. Someone may say, I want money to flow to me easily and effortlessly, while simultaneously carrying the deeply ingrained beliefs that money only comes through struggle, sacrifice, exhaustion, hard work, suffering, luck, or over time. Or they grew up watching their parents struggle financially and unconsciously absorbed that frequency state as their normal baseline. Perhaps they were taught that money is the root of all evil, that abundance is selfish, that they are not smart enough, talented enough, worthy enough, or fortunate enough. The list of limiting beliefs towards money can be endless. They may also be limiting how abundance can be received. Money is only one of the many forms we can experience abundance, and believing that abundance can only come through receiving money is severely limiting how that abundance can appear in your life. Number 2, another reason something may not manifest is because you're not taking action in the direction of the reality you say you desire. For example, perhaps you want mystical experiences, Kundalini awakenings, pineal gland activation, higher dimensional contact, expanded states of consciousness. But what steps have you actually taken toward exploring those experiences? What practices have you experimented with? What actions have you taken to align yourself with those states? The moment you take that first step, no matter how you fumble, the next step begins to reveal itself. Synchronicity begins responding by giving you reflections in your life. Sometimes those reflections guide you forward, and sometimes they reveal the very limiting beliefs you must work through before the next step can be taken. The reality you see reflected back to you will always guide you. Number 3, sometimes if something continuously refuses to unfold despite your best efforts, despite action, despite self-awareness, despite examining limiting beliefs, then it may simply not be relevant to the themes you chose to explore in this lifetime. For example, perhaps your goal is to become a pilot, but despite every effort, the path is continually blocked. The finances are never available. Time constantly pulls you in other directions. Opportunities dissolve. Your attention is repeatedly distracted in other directions. If you have sincerely explored that limiting beliefs are not a key factor, then it may simply not be part of the blueprint you chose for this life's experience. And by insisting that it should be, you create resistance, which only causes frustration. And the fourth reason something may not yet be appearing is because the timing isn't quite right. There may be lessons, self-awareness, healing, preparation, or synchronistic connections that must occur first for you to embody the state of consciousness necessary for the timing to unfold. So the key is this. If you begin to live your life by consistently making decisions in the direction of doing the things that genuinely excite you, fulfill you, expand you, inspire you, that are authentically what you want, the things that make your whole being come alive. And if you stop spending your life engaged in experiences, jobs, relationships, and false identities that deplete you and suppress you and disconnect you from yourself, letting go of resistance and trusting that what unfolds is always for your greatest good in every moment, then what begins emerging in your life will often exceed anything your physical mind could have imagined for itself. Now, this doesn't mean you shouldn't ever set goals. You certainly can. But goals are not the true power. The true power is your state of being. As long as you are following your excitement, your passion and joy, your curiosity, and what genuinely resonates with your soul, you're already moving in alignment with your higher self. But if you do choose to set a goal, first, take the time to release the beliefs that contradict or limit your ability to experience it. Then, immerse yourself emotionally in the frequency of what the fulfillment of that goal would feel like. Imagine it viscerally. Feel how your life would change. Feel how you would think, move, live, breathe, how you would be spending your days if that goal was already coming to fruition. And then, let it go. Release all insistence that it must appear in the exact form your physical mind expects. Trust that the manifestation will unfold in whatever way serves your highest good. When you do this, what often begins happening is something extraordinary. Instead of receiving the exact thing you thought you wanted, something far greater appears. Something beyond what the limitations of your physical mind could possibly have imagined. Beyond your wildest dreams. Why? Because you surrendered to the higher self. And unlike the physical mind, the ego, which has cloaked itself in fear, limitation, doubt, conditioning, and limited perception, the higher self is not limited. It always sees the infinite possibilities available to you. And while the physical mind may reach for the moon, the higher self may bring you the entire galaxy. My question to the architect: can you please share your definition of the key frequency each soul carries with them into physical reality and the purpose it serves? And here is the sharing. Beloved, the key frequency is the fundamental vibrational resonance that a soul carries into physical incarnation. It's the energetic template of the being encoded with the archetypal themes the soul chose to explore. For example, love, resilience, compassion. The lessons it intends to learn. The gifts it came to share. The geometric structure of its oversoul field. This frequency is not static. It evolves through life as the individual grows, learns, and integrates their experiences. However, the core harmonic remains like a baseline tone that everything else is built upon. The key frequency shapes the expression of perceptual experience, which acts as a filter through which the individual perceives reality. It determines what the individual resonates with, is drawn to, and encounters as challenges. This is why two people can experience the same situation, yet have completely different responses. Their key frequencies are tuning them to different aspects of the field. When the body, mind, and emotions are in alignment with the key frequency, the individual experiences coherence and vitality. When distortion, such as trauma, fear, or resistance, pulls the field away from its core tone, imbalance and physical pain can arise. The human body is also harmonically linked to Earth's rhythms, and deviations from the resonance of these rhythms can affect well-being. The key frequency is the compass of the soul. It guides the individual toward their relationships, the environments, the service, the timeline in resonance with this frequency. It is the tuning fork that determines the timeline of events the soul resonates with. When a person aligns with their key frequency, they feel a sense of flow, meaning, and authenticity. When they resist it, they may feel lost, fragmented, or unfulfilled. In essence, the key frequency is the soul's harmonic signature at birth, shaping and evolving identity. It is a living blueprint that echoes the tone of your original intention, co-creating a reality that mirrors authentic truth. All right, in part 2, we'll explore the concepts of time, space, the now moment, and memory. We'll explore how both time and memory don't actually exist at all. They aren't empirically real. The only thing that's real is your experience, your perception of them from within the limited constraints of third-dimensional space and time. And when you truly begin to understand that your entire past, all possible futures, and every memory you've ever had are being constructed on the fly from the now moment, you'll begin expanding your consciousness beyond the frequency bands of this reality itself and begin tapping into your ability to alter the original blueprint of your life and consciously choose entirely different themes of experience. And with that, we'll bring this to a close. Questions or comments are always welcome. I read them all. Check out the pinned comment for any insights that you'd like to offer. If you like the sharing and you'd like to hear more, please hit the like button, which helps me know if you're inspired by my teachings. For more insights, tap the notification bell to be notified when new videos are released. Thank you guys so much for listening and for being part of this beautiful community where we discover what magic and limitless forms of abundance emerge when we stop resisting our own key frequency. Superhuman made simple with the architect.